But then at that point, shots rang out, and he did pass away on the street.
Wow.
Next to what people believe is a smoke shop. So it's just a really sad situation all around, and just unfortunately, these are.
I mean, it ain't like he ain't see it coming. He in the streets. Plus, his dad out here murdering people. So what you think will happen to him? It's either one of his dad, something, get back for what his dad did to somebody, or get back for what you did to somebody, or who you hanging around. You feel me?
These are kind of. This is what goes down. Big U was a notorious figure in the streets.
Man, Big U's son was killed in L.A. Shorty, tap in.
Man, we just had some super sad news coming out of Los Angeles. It was just reported yesterday that Big U's son, Baby Yui, unfortunately lost his life in the streets of Los Angeles on the night of Halloween. And this is definitely a
the
really
night of Halloween
tragic
is
piece
crazy.
of news that's coming through for Big U. Obviously, if you followed this channel for a while, you'll know that Big U is currently, facing some serious charges. There's been reports of, embezzlement, corruption, taking money from the city, as well as the fact that, one of his son's friends, Rayshawn Williams, wound up dead in the Las Vegas desert. And, the authorities are pointing the finger at Big U. So he's facing some very serious charges. And no doubt this tragedy is just going to be yet another just heartbreaking setback for him. And I don't envy him,
Yeah, bro, what is wrong with you? Dude, 50-something, almost 60 years old, pushing 60, still gangbanging, getting people killed, stealing money from the city, doing all types of weird stuff. Dude, you too old for that.
I know that a lot of people have different things to say about Big U, but absolutely no one should have to go through this and lose a son in this way. Now, this was Big U's son, Jabari Henley. He's kind of known on the streets and on the internet as Baby Yui. Now, he's not to be confused with Big U's other son, Diane Henley. He plays for the Los Angeles Chargers, and obviously Big U's got a few kids. He's also got, he's got daughter as well, and it's just really, really sad to see. And I'm sure that he's really feeling it, being in the situation that he's in, probably not able to attend the funeral, all that kind of thing. But this is
yeah, and it all happened because of him. Get back. They can't get you, so they go get somebody that you love, somebody that's your family. And your son was the only one they could get to. Heck, yeah, just go get him up out of here.
Just a little clip of Baby Yui. He's kind of, he was very well known in Los Angeles. He was well known in the kind of street music circuits. And he used to rap under the name Yui Popcorn, but this is just a little clip
Yui
of him
Popcorn
that's
is
been kind
crazy.
of going around since the news hit.
Everybody in the limo. We got my boy Baby Yui right here. Tell him about the limo, Yui.
Oh man, this is the greatest experience, you know what I'm saying? Really help out in the trenches, man. Got a big body, all black, motherfucker. You know what's going on.
You already know,
I
nigga.
come on dope, man, because I run my own show.
You see my nigga Baby Yui, man. Y'all go tell him fuck with the limo, Yui.
I gotta fuck with the limo, man. Izzy does it all, man. Izzy does it the best.
Yeah. My motherfucking nigga, Baby Yui. All right, you.
So look, Baby Yui, he was a charismatic guy. He was beloved in the streets of LA. He was known for popping out on social media, dropping music, being really in the streets and being involved in the scene, really carrying the legacy of his father's name. Obviously,
Shaking my head.
I believe he was listed as signed to his father's label. So Remo posted this on Instagram.
His name Baby Yui. Is he a junior? Cause I feel like they call him Baby Yui because Big U, Makes sense, don't it? But yeah, I feel like he might be a junior.
He was one of the first people that actually broke the news when this went around, because he keeps a real close eye on everything that's going on in LA, kind of street and rap culture. And there was a picture from the scene. Fortunately, this has been edited. They've blurred out, the section of Baby Yui's body on the street. But some people are saying that. Some people are saying that might have been his car at the scene, the vehicle that's parked next to the scene. It's a Tesla. Some people believe that's his car. And I think it was reported that he actually was on the street and somebody pulled up in a car and he approached the car and there was a conversation with somebody in the car. Maybe it was someone he knew. Maybe it was someone he was friendly with. Maybe not. But then at that point, shots rang out and he did pass away on the street.
Wow.
Next to what people believe is a smoke shop. So it's just a really sad situation all around. And just... unfortunately, these are.
I mean, it ain't like he ain't see it coming. He in the streets. Plus, his dad out here murdering people. So what you think will happen to him? It's either one of his dad, something, get back for what his dad did to somebody, or get back for what you did to somebody, or who you hanging around. You feel me?
These are kind of, this is what goes down. You know, Big U was a notorious figure in the streets. He's currently going through a very serious case and a serious situation. You know, it's going to be tough for him to kind of overcome the situation that he's in, and he's really somebody that was kind of known for being really laying down the law in the streets of LA. You know, and it does make you wonder, would this have happened if Big U was kind of outside? Maybe it would have. There's been speculation that, you know, maybe what happened was something to do with issues that Big U might have had, or whether this was beef with another crew. Maybe this was in an area where, you know, rolling 60s weren't really supposed to be. But it's just a really sad situation to see, man. This was another video from the scene that was actually going around on the Cali banging subreddit, which is a
crazy,
subreddit that's mainly concerned with the California streets and kind of gang folklore and stuff like that. And people were saying from the very get-go when this went down that it was indeed Big U's son.
Very well-known Crip that,
like, you hear, bro, very well-known Crip. Like, bro, Big U failed his kid, bro. Why his son want to be a gangbanger just like him? And now look, you get locked up for stuff, now your son dead, and you got to sit in jail and deal with that. That is kind of crazy to think about, to be honest.
killed tonight. He has one son that plays for the Chargers and one son that does not, and I don't know which son it was that got killed. I think it's the son who doesn't play for the Chargers.
So it's a sad situation, man. And you know, Baby Yui was kind of really making some waves in the music game. You know, he was going by the name Yui Popcorn, and like this is kind of a you know, a long bio of him, but he basically you know, he was going by the name Yui Popcorn as a rapper. Jabari Dante Henley was born on the 4th of November 1991, so he was just a couple of days off his birthday again, which just makes this even more sad.
A couple of days after his birthday,
he was proudly, you know, repping his father's affiliations. He's the second son of the legendary LA street figure Eugene Big U Henley. You know, talking about the highly publicized incarceration of his father, that forced him to be raised in a single household from birth until his teenage years. Although his father was incarcerated for the majority of his life, Yui still had the support of his uncles and the advice he gained from his father upon the family visits to him. So when he was growing up, his father, you know, was dealing with incarceration even back then, and he had, you know, spent time on those visits, picked up game, picked up history, and, you know, how to move in the streets from his father. Obviously, that was a big role model for him. It says Yui's mother is a strong believer in education and wanted her son to put his main focus on studies, but he struggled in school and worked hard to maintain grades for his mother to keep him active in sports. While his father was incarcerated, Yui's uncle Dwayne had a major influence on his life. Yui enjoyed spending his spare time playing and riding around with his uncle Dwayne. At just the age of 7, Yui's uncle Dwayne was murdered. So grew up knowing,
you know what? This nigga reading all this? Nigga, is you crazy? And that nigga name is Eugene. Is you Eugene? Ain't that Mr. Krabs' name? Eugene Krabs. Eugene for a name is crazy.
that Yui made friends with athletes with DeAnthony Thomas, who
is this nigga crazy? Why you reading on that whole paragraph? You see him though? What's up with him? You see him?
I mean, this was 12 years ago, right? So he was tapped in with some of the biggest rappers for a long time.
I'm currently working with my boy Wiz Khalifa from Taylor Gang, Big Ups, Ty Dolla $ign. I got some tracks with Ty coming out soon. Corrupt, Ray J, Jazz Lazy. And Chris CB, that's my boy. And, you know, CB is a good friend of Pop's, which is a good friend of mine also. That's my boy. You know, he came out to the hood recently, did me a big favor, came down to the hood.
Really popcorn.
You know, me and Chris were cool. I talked to him, got a good connection.
So he was really tapped in, you know, whether you want to say he was using his father's connections or whether he was just, you know, getting love and respect. He really had Chris Brown out there in the hood, you know, making videos and making moves and putting on. Apparently, Baby Yui was actually living a real crazy lifestyle, okay? People were saying that he was living a real Fresh Prince like personal chef.
Bitch, motherfucking mud, nigga. You know where we at, man. You know where we at. Let's go to the kitchen. Last night we had a party. We still got the chef up, man. Chef Martin, cold work, all that mud money shit, all that, bro. Anything.
So this shows how he was living, man. You know, whether you want to say it, he was living that lifestyle. His father was bringing that lifestyle around, but he really living in the mansion with a private chef and, you know, just living that rapper lifestyle all the way back in 2016.
You can think you can cook, man. That's the greatest chef in the fucking globe. Fuck me, bro. Hey, yo, come beat this shit up. You gotta do when you wake up. Shit you gotta do when you wake up. What's up? Alibaba, you know?
I mean, what the hell? A guy's got his own monkey. Like, he's out here living like Michael Jackson in a mansion. And that mansion was looking beautiful. I'm not going to lie, that foyer was looking absolutely crazy. And not only that, but apparently, you know, he was flexing the nicest cars. Like, this is back in 2016. We're talking Rolls Royces.
Having your own monkey is crazy. Having a monkey is diabolical. But I ain't gonna lie, that using a mansion, they had all that. But I don't know why. You got all that stuff, dude. You wanted to be in the streets, it's crazy.
Beautiful. I'm not going to lie, that foyer was looking absolutely crazy. And not only that, but apparently, you know, he was flexing the nicest cars. Like, this is back in 2016. We're talking Rolls Royces in the garage, like all the whips.
Rolls Royces and monkeys and mansions in 2016 is crazy, bro.
Just absolutely living the high life, man.
Yeah, he was living it.
I had to wife the Rafe. You know what I'm saying? I had to Rafe the Warrior, wife the Rafe. You know what I'm saying? Came back clean with the double bank back machine. I tell the bitch she can't keep up, she too slow. Word is bond.
What the?
So he got Ferrari in there, he got a Maybach there was a Rolls Royce Wraith a minute ago, he got the Wraith on deck. This guy's just living the real lifestyle, okay? And I think this just goes to show, I mean, I don't know if this is going to kind of come back to bite those guys in court. I don't really know. But, you know, he was living that baller lifestyle and you know, it's anyone's best guess as to how this lifestyle was being funded, man. But clearly he was living the lap of luxury. And, you know, he was somebody that was reaping the benefits of everything that was going on, really, you know. And he was trying to make his own way as a rapper. He definitely had the rapper starter kit, got the Maybach, the Rari, the Rolls, like all on deck, you know. So he had all the ingredients he needed to kind of, you know, get some motion and get some clout in this rap game, man.
You see niggas like that, it's always niggas like this. Niggas be having everything and still don't want to change their life. Niggas be goofy, bro. He ain't even have to live this way.
They got the old school Maybach, man.
I just got some good, you know what I mean, up in this bitch the other day.
Now, something I want to touch on, okay, that not a lot of people are probably going to touch on this, and it's no disrespect, but obviously, you know, he was living this lavish lifestyle, and he was getting a lot of respect from, you know, from his family connections and the, you know, the people he'd been around. But it seemed like by 2024, you know, I don't think his music career maybe gone quite as big as he would have hoped. You know, he might have struggled to make a name for himself away from his kind of family connections. And by 2024, you know, a lot of people were saying that, you know, maybe he was struggling mentally. He maybe wasn't getting the outcome that he was hoping for from the music game. Now, unfortunately, it seems like his Twitter has been deleted in the last day or so. So a lot of the things that he posted on Twitter are no longer available. And I've had a few of the links.
Oh, why they do that? Shit, people must be, you know, when people die, they be trolling and shit, going to get their last pictures and stuff.
That I've tried to click and they're not working, but we did have a few screenshots of things that were interesting that I put here in a document. You know, there was one post in October 2024. Some people aren't sure whether he was referring to himself or whether he was kind of, you know, talking about somebody else. Some people seem to think he was kind of, you know, referring to himself in a kind of very negative way, saying Section 8 is crazy at 35 years old. Being a deadbeat dad with no custody since the kid was 2 weeks old is crazy. Doesn't take his meds, has episodes, it's crazy work. Domestic violence because you only beat women is crazy work, get help. Now, some people think that's him, he's referring to himself, but
why would he make a post referring to himself? But what the...
Could be talking about somebody else, but I think this tweet is kind of a little bit dark. And it almost has like a connection to what ended up happening and where it happened. It said, schizo, woman beater, bipolar, needs help, always angry because he's broke, plays victim, blames everyone else for his issues. His own daddy, Big U, don't F with him. He needs to open a GoFundMe, always ruining relationships with everyone from Smoke Shop on 8th Ave to DTLA. So he mentioned a smoke shop there and having bad relationships with people at a smoke shop. And obviously it seemed like he ended up, you know, getting shot and losing his life outside of a smoke shop. You know, I don't know whether that's specifically related or you know, if that's actually connected, but you know, he clearly looked like he was going through it when all of this was happening, if I'm honest with you. There's been a lot of responses and reactions to this on Reddit. You know, people basically saying that this is a member of the Rolling 60s who's referring and saying, look, we're going to see who's really gangbanging, we're going to see who's really active in the streets. Now, this happened on Figueroa, and a lot of people are saying that's a pimp zone. You know, certain gangs don't be really active over there, and people from everywhere be over on Fig chilling. They're saying somebody or an op must have saw him and made a decision. People saying hopefully nobody, this thing needs to stop. They're saying, some people are saying he shouldn't have been over there, it's the Hoovers territory, but other people are disputing that and saying that's actually, you know, different gangs. It was in an allied hood. People saying it's false, it's a Hoover hood. So it's a little bit unclear.
Why, bro? He always going to read some comments.